Hi, this is Miss Pat from Samuels Public Library. Today in Science Scouts, we're going to learn about geodes and crystals that you can find in kinds of rocks. Our book today is called Rocks, Rocks, Rocks by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. One day after school, Buddy took 6 rocks out of his backpack. He carefully piled one on top of another. They wobbled but didn't fall. "Look," he said to Mama. "That looks like a pile of rocks that mark a trail," said Mama. "Would you like to go on a rock walk at the Nature Center?" "Yes," said Buddy. "I like rocks." They drove to the Nature Center. The sky was filled with billowy clouds. The air smelled of pine trees. "Rocks!" shouted Buddy. "The Blue Diamond Trail," said Mama. They studied the trail map. Buddy counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rock stops. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. "Look," said Buddy, "there's a pile of rocks like the one I made. This way." "Rock stop 1, said Mama. "Bedrock." Buddy ran his hand over the smooth rock. "Bedrock? What's bedrock?" "Bedrock is the Earth's rock crust," said Mama. "Mountains are rock. Rock is under cities and farms, under valleys and forests, under lakes, under the ocean, and under our house?" asked Buddy. "Yes," said Mama. "Bedrock is everywhere. The Earth is a ball of rock." "Mama?" "Yes, Bud?" "What did the pebble sleep on?" "What?" "Bedrock." Mama laughed. He likes to tell jokes. Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. "Rock stop 2, said Buddy. "Big rocks, smaller rocks, and pebbles." "Erosion," said Mama. "Erosion," said Buddy. "What's that?" Mama explained. "Erosion means that over time, mountains, boulders, even pebbles, weather and wear away. They get smaller," Buddy chimed in. "Smaller and smaller?" He thought for a minute. "How small?" "As small as sand and dirt. Sand and dirt are partly made of teeny tiny pieces of rocks." Mama read the sign. "What causes erosion?" Betty looked at the pictures. "Rain? Snow?" "That's right," said Mama. "Snow and ice can get into cracks in rocks and split them." "Rivers, waterfalls, waves?" said Buddy. "Hey, I think those are all water." "I think you are very smart," said Mama. "Moving water wears down rocks." Buddy kept looking. "Wind?" Mama explained. "Wind causes waves that make rocks tumble on the shores of lakes and oceans. Tumbling wears down rocks. Strong winds can also blow sand at rocks and wear them away." "Wow, I thought rocks lasted forever." Then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. At Rock Stop 3, they were greeted by one of the Rock Ridge Rangers. "Hello, welcome to Rock Stop 3. I'm Roxy," she said. "Hi, I'm Buddy." "Well, Buddy," said Roxy, "I've got some wonderful rocks to show you." Roxy took 3 rocks out of her rock box. She handed one to Buddy. "I see layers," said Buddy. "That's a sedimentary rock," said Roxy. "It's made from sediment." "Sediment," said Buddy. "What's that?" "Sediment is teeny tiny particles of rock, clay, mud, and sand. Sedimentary rocks are made from layers and layers of sediment that were pressed and hardened," said Roxy. "And over time, the sediment becomes hard as a rock," said Buddy. sedimentary rock. Here's another sedimentary rock, said Roxy. It's crumbly, said Buddy. Some rocks are softer than others, said Roxy. This rock is sandstone. Roxy, said Buddy. Roxy. Yes, Buddy. What does Sandy the stone like to sit in? What? A rocking chair. Good one, Buddy, said Roxy. I bet you know what this is. What's that? Chalk. Chalk is sedimentary rock too. It's limestone. Roxy reached into the box again. A blackboard, said Buddy. It's slate, said Roxy. Slate is one kind of metamorphic rock. Metamorphic, said Buddy. Metamorphic rocks are rocks that changed. This used to be mudstone, stone made from mud. Over time, it changed into slate. Buddy thought for a minute. Rocks can change? Yes, said Roxy. Deep inside the earth, heat and squeezing can change rocks. Roxy took more rocks out of the rock box. These are igneous rocks. Can we call them Iggy for short? Asked Buddy. Roxy handed one to Buddy. Sure, Iggy rocks are formed in the heat way deep down in the earth. It's so hot that rocks melt. Rocks can melt? Asked Buddy. Yes, said Roxy, and flow like a hot rock river. Can you see where melted rock flowed and filled in cracks and then cooled? You can see where the melted rock filled in the cracks. Yes, said Buddy. Next, Roxy pulled a plastic container and a canteen out of the rock box. Buddy poured water into the container. Put this rock in the water, said Roxy. What's going to happen? It floats. How can a rock float? Asked Buddy. Roxy explained. This igneous rock came from a volcano. It's filled with bubbles. It's light enough to float. Wow, said Buddy. Roxy gave Buddy a sticker. He stuck it to his shirt. I'm a rock star. They put the rocks back in the rock box. Then they said goodbye to Roxy. And they followed the Blue Diamond Trail until they came to rock stop number 4. There were lots of rocks set out on a red table. Buddy sorted them. Line designs, shapes, bumpy rocks, and smooth rocks. The smooth rocks look like eggs, said Buddy. They were tumbled by ocean waves and smoothed by sand and pebbles rubbing against them, said Mama. Buddy counted the smooth ones. Okay, so anytime you find a smooth one, it means it's been in the water a long time. Next, Buddy arranged the rocks with line designs one way. He kind of made a road. Then he made them another way. Mama, what kind of candy did the pebble like to eat for dessert? What? Rock candy, Mama chuckled. She looked at her watch. Dessert, we better get moving. It's almost time for dinner. Buddy put the rocks back in a pile. And then they followed the Blue Diamond Trail. A little house, said Buddy. Where do you see rocks? Asked Mama. The chimney, the stone wall. Where do you see rocks? Asked Buddy. I see a slate roof and bricks made out of clay, said Mama. And I'm sitting on a rock bench. I see a bird bath made out of rock, said Buddy, and a rock frog. I see it's time to go home, my young petrologist, said Mama. Petrologist. What's a petrologist? Asked Buddy. Someone who has a pet? Someone like you. Who likes to learn about rocks? Said Mama. They read the last two signs, and then Buddy said, Mama, yes, Bud? How did the boulder get to the moon? How? On a rocket. Okay. And then if you read this, there's other things you can do. Start a rock collection, make a rock magnet. We are going to talk about sedimentary rocks that can turn into geodes. Okay. So how do crystals form? Okay, crystals form when we put a lot of something into water until it can't dissolve anymore. Okay, it gets really, really cloudy, but it can only hold so much. And as the water cools, that something that we put in crystallizes onto whatever it can. Okay, so sometimes you put in too much sugar in a drink, and you stir and stir and stir, and you still see that sugar on the bottom of your cup. That's what this is, okay? So we're gonna put in so much that it can't hold anymore, but now it's gonna stick on something else. Right, geodes are created in the hollow areas of soil, like animal burrows where they live, or tree roots. They're also formed in the bubbles in volcanic rocks. And over time, dissolved minerals seep into the hollow and are hardened into an outer shell. Okay, so these look like rocks from the outside, but inside they have something different. Those are different minerals. Okay, so rock minerals might have formed on the outside, but crystals formed on the inside. All right, so geodes, before and after they're open, if you look at these pictures, right, they look like nice normal rocks. But then when you crack it open, this is what it looks like on the inside. Now, when you do pick them up, if you find rocks that look like these and you shake them, sometimes you can hear the crystals inside of them. And sometimes they're light because inside it's not a solid rock. Okay, they're not solid on the inside. They got a lot of air spaces in there and the crystals aren't so heavy. So if you shake them, some of the crystals are breaking, some of the crystals will shake and you can hear it. And that's how you know you got a good one. So Skyline Caverns over here in Warren County, right? The water washed away the clay and the limestone and it formed the caverns. And then the minerals that drips down, it kind of left the minerals behind. As the water dripped, the minerals got left behind. And those things on top, right here, these are called stalactites. And then the water fell and evaporated and it built up all those minerals going up, and those are stalagmites. And it's going to keep going until they kind of meet in the middle. Okay, so these are minerals that got left behind by the water, just like the water left behind the minerals inside the geodes. Okay, so when we do our experiment, we have to make sure the pipe cleaners are not touching the sides of the bottom jar or anything else, because otherwise they're going to stick to it and they might break off. We're going to give you, if you come to the library and ask for our kits, we're going to give you a bag full of borax. That's laundry detergent, so please don't eat it. Okay, that's not going to be good stuff. It's not going to be good for your eyes. It's not going to be good for your mouth. But you could also use table salt or sugar, right? It just might take a little bit longer. But you see how they made all these different shapes? Just got to make sure that your shape isn't too big, and I'll show you what happens when it is, because my granddaughter made one that was too big. Right? But you can do these for Halloween, right? These are Halloween, Mother's Day, Christmas, any holiday you want to do. If you can turn the pipe cleaner into that shape, that's fine. Or you just make a nice little ball and then you can kind of have your own geode. All right. So let's see about what I got here. So I actually do have a geode. Hold on. Okay, so this is a geode. Okay, notice it looks like a nice normal rock. You can buy those in different places. You can get them at Skyline Caverns. I actually got this one at a place down in Florida. If you want to crack them, and again, remember I said you just had to shake them to listen. If you want to crack them, you got to put them in a sock. Okay. The reason you put them in a sock is we don't want any rock pieces shooting into your eyes. You can wear those little goggles. Okay. Get a hammer or a mallet. Get your sock, put it on a hard surface, smack it. right? And then you take it out of the sock. And the broken pieces of the rock then stay in the sock. So this is a good thing to do with those socks that, you know, the dryer ate one, you only got one left, or you got a hole in one. So before you throw out both of them, including the good one, the one that doesn't have a hole, use it for this. Now it'll have a hole, right? And this is what's inside of my, okay, so that's a geode. Remember, it looks like nice normal rock on this side. Not on this side. This is the crystals. Okay, so this was in a like tree root hole, you know, where a lot of the roots were going, and it left holes in the ground. And the minerals kind of left a hard shell, but it left different kinds of minerals on the inside. All right, that made crystals. So the crystals that we are going to use, again, we're going to give you a jar, okay, and we're going to give you a bag of borax, and you're going to put about 4 or 5 teaspoons in there. But first you got to superheat this. Okay, so you're going to need some help. You can put boiling water from the teapot in here. You can just fill this up and put it in a microwave. Use some gloves though to take it out. Okay, and then you're going to have to keep stirring it. Now, I've already done that. And let me tell you, you can keep, you can kind of see the crystals at the bottom. So I'm going to have to superheat this again. Once you make your crystals, and this is what's left, don't get rid of it. You still have the borax. Now I can just throw it back in the microwave and I can heat it up again and I can make more. Okay, so I want to show you what I made already. Okay, so this is going to be my little ghost. And if this was heated up, I could put this in here, right? We put the string through it and the little stick. I might have to poke him down. Now he's sticking to the bottom. So I'm going to have to kind of make him go up a little bit, and I'm going to have to add water to this before I heat it. Right? And I'm going to want it like that. Right? You can see how that is? I'm trying to see. All right. So I'm going to have to add water, and I'm going to have to superheat this up again because, like I said, this is already cooled. But this is how you're going to do it. Try to keep them small. Try and keep them close. And the reason I say that, right, is the first one we did was this one. We got some crystals, but it stayed in there for 4 days, and that's all we got. Okay, she wanted to make Stubby the square pumpkin. Okay, so we got these big crystals on the outsides because hers stuck to the bottom and it stuck to the sides, and then they kind of broke off as we pulled it off. So try and make sure that it's not such a big area, right? Try and keep them closer. She needed to make this a smaller square. She did another one. This only took about 8 hours. Okay, it has big crystals on it. That was going to be her spider. This one, we added green food coloring. Okay, and you can see that the crystals started going up the string. Okay. And again, you kind of got to fiddle with it. Make sure it doesn't touch the ground, doesn't touch the bottom of the jar. And this one is by far our best one. You're going to get 3 pipe cleaners. You're only going to get 1 stick and 3 pieces of string to tie them up. But you're going to have to do them one at a time because this is a small jar. So don't try and put 3 in here. It won't work. But this one did fit in here, okay, without touching the bottom. Because I had the water filled up a lot higher than that. And the crystals are just starting to climb up the string. Right, but this whole thing is kind of covered up. And now if I put a bigger string on it or I attach this to a hook, I can go hang this on a tree outside, and now I got some Halloween decorations. Or I can make Christmas decorations. I can make flowers, right? You can make whatever you, and then they're just going to kind of glow out there. Okay, or reflect. I should not say glow. They're going to reflect, right? When you take them out of the water, just lay them down on a paper towel or a piece of wax paper until they dry. right? Just like this thing right now is very wet, so I won't want to leave this down out here, right? You're going to want to leave this on something that's it's not going to stick to you. Don't put it on paper because it'll stick to the paper, right? Your kits are going to have 3 pipe cleaners, a jar, a bag of borax, and they'll also have instructions for rock candy. Now remember, I said you can't eat these, okay? Please don't eat these. These are not going to taste good. They're not going to be good for you. The rock candy, if you have sugar and stuff at home, you can kind of do something very similar with the sugar. That one you can eat. If you do this with salt, don't eat it. It's not going to taste good, okay? So that's how you're going to make crystals, which are a different type of rock, okay? They're made out of sediments that get left behind when the water leaves behind. So hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye.